the security situation obtaining, especially in Masaka, politically motivated acts, acts of sheer banditry, and then hooliganism.
You will realize that the situation in Masaka, this is almost the third wave. Some years back, this happened where people were killed by the machetes and things like that. When you look at what you would call hooliganism of throwing papers with threats to people, still it has ever happened in Kampala and some other parts of the country. What could have gone wrong with the security system in Uganda? One of those things that we have been proud of for a very long time. How come we don't see detecting and action, pro-action taken to these activities before they get into...
No, you can't. I think that's a bit of unfair thinking on your part. There is no way we can predict that these things are going to happen until there are indications that these things are going to happen. It all started with throwing of leaflets. It has happened before. Sometimes the leaflets have been followed by criminal activity. Sometimes the leaflets were thrown and nothing happens. In the case of Masaka, when the leaflets were thrown around, the security forces reacted by investigation. They were in the process of finding out who was behind the leaflets and what the intentions were. And as it would be, these leaflets were followed by acts of criminal acts, of killings in Rengo, in Masaka, in the, you know. Now these acts of killings point to motivation. Fortunately, some of the actors have been arrested. Some of the criminals have been arrested, and some have confessed that they were hired. They were hired, and some people have been named who attended the meetings where this criminal activity was organized. They've confessed, and those responsible have been apprehended and have appeared in court. They've been charged in courts of law. Now, because they've been charged in courts of law, I cannot talk about it because of the old principles of judice. But however, the actors, the criminal actors, pointed at some people, and those people have been apprehended. That's why I say that that first layer of criminal activity was politically motivated, because some of the actors are clearly political. Then the second group is those who have vendetta. But because there is this political hooliganism going on, they also hide under this general insecurity to settle all the scores. That we have identified and clearly distinguished it from the politically motivated insecurity. Then there are those who are just hooligans who enjoy throwing around leaflets and having a merry joy go round. Like the leaflets that was thrown in my district yesterday, in Mitoma. You know, I'm told there were leaflets thrown in Mitoma with the threat that there will be killings. Now, I wonder why anybody should want to kill anybody in Mitoma, because we are homogenic. But when you look at such things, you really see that some of these may be a bit...
Why do you think our system cannot detect activities you call hooliganism and things like that? With the system that we have built for all this long, why do you think we don't have the capacity to detect and investigate?
We have the capacity. But you don't start arresting people until you have incontrovertible evidence.
Let me bring it this way.
That's the problem between you and us. Because you think when leaflets are thrown around, you look at everybody who's got an ugly face or who is not working properly and you arrest them. No, that's not it. That's not the way things are done.
That is now after something has been done. Take an example. We have groups of young boys that terrorize people in Kampala here and almost all the urban centers. How come the police and security systems in towns, I would say, have failed to penetrate these groups? The groups are known. You are in traffic jam and you will see groups of boys walking, snatching phones, breaking windscreens and doing it. How do we end up in a situation where our security system cannot penetrate those groups? Because I think these could be the groups that actually grow into unmanageable groups that can be as violent as what we see in Masaka.
The police has been doing, I would say, a good job arresting these people. They arrest them, they take them to court, they put them in Rosera. The only thing the police has not been doing is to publicize their successes. You know, of course, you cannot eliminate crime. You know, you cannot eliminate crime from society.
Sure.
You can't. Wherever there is society, where there is human endeavor, there will be rogue elements.
But Honorable, when the rates go to levels where they look unmanageable,
I don't think we've reached that stage. I don't think we've reached that stage. What I think is that some disgruntled elements in our society have tried to take advantage of those rogue elements within society to use them to settle political scores. And that's why you see a situation, a concentrated situation of crime in a place like Masaka. That does not mean that there are no rogue elements in Jinja, in Mbale, in Mbarara, in Gulu. They are there. They are there, but they act individually or in groups for criminal purposes. The case of Masaka is that these rogue elements have been organized. They have been acting in concert, they've been organized, and they've been, some of them have confessed to being paid. Some of them have told us that they are paid a certain sum of money for every killing they make. So what the security would like to know, and what would like to know, is who is paying them. Now, at that stage, I can't say more because this is now a police investigation and a court matter.
Okay, but in terms of security, Honorable, Masaka is an area that has Kasija Girwa, for example, a very big barracks there. How would these killings go beyond 3 days?
A barracks is not a police force, a military.
Fine, but it is part of a security
system.
It's
part of the security.
That can beef up police and other security agencies.
You see, the UPDF is the People's Defense Force.
Exactly.
Its job is
the expectation would be that where somebody is attacking the people.
You are making a mistake. The Uganda Police Force is a civilian force, yes, which is trained, equipped to handle civilian matters involving civilian, be they civil or criminal. Yes. The Uganda People's Defense Force is a fighting machine. That's why they don't go with batons, they go with tanks. That's a fighting machine. Now, not until the police alerts the UPDF that they've been overwhelmed by the situation, that the UPDF assists the police. The UPDF only remains behind the police in case of armed confrontation and engagement, or general rioting that causes unmanageable situations. But Kasagirwa, as a military barracks, cannot get out to investigate, prosecute, and what. No, that's the job of the Uganda police.
The expectation would be that they would beef up security in the night.
Yes, they will. Like now they are doing. Because the police force has said, we are going on patrol, we want your support.
Honorable, this is after over 25 people had been killed by
Yeah,
these wrong people.
those people were not killed in over a month. It was something that happened suddenly, and the armed forces and the security had to come with a well thought out response. And they have done very well. They have done a very good job. You know? Because killing 25 people that can happen in one night, 1 or 2 nights.
Yes.
And or 2 nights, neither the police nor you, no, not even the local people, not even the victims would know. Because if this was known, by the way, intelligence comes from the local population. Intelligence is not a dream. Information comes from the local population. When the local population has no information, the security forces are blind. It's the local population that helps the security forces to get information on which they operate. When the security forces act in consonance in consonance with the information given by the local population, then they are very successful.
Don't security agencies have units that have to detect and prevent crime?
Yes, they have. But if
they seem to be absent.
But if the ground is dominated by hostile elements, where do the security forces get information from? Security forces get information from the population. So the security forces must get to the population. Where you find members of parliament are hostile to the security forces, the LOC's chairpersons are hostile to the population, to the security forces. The elders are hostile to the security population, security forces. Where do you get information from to help the population?
So ideally,
that's why you remember the other day, I called the leaders of Masaka, the political leaders of Masaka,
yes,
and told them this is a situation in your backyard. And insecurity knows no tribe, knows no religion, knows no political party, knows no color. Insecurity is insecurity. Let's join forces and defeat this insecurity. And I'm waiting for their reaction. I'm waiting for the reaction of the opposition forces, the opposition leaders, as to what they are going to do about security in their areas. Because if they are not party to it, how come they are not condemning the killers? I'm waiting for a speech that was made by a member of parliament in those areas condemning the killings.
Haven't they condemned it?
I've only had a bed Wanaka. Only Abed Wanaka is the only one who has openly condemned the killings. I've not heard of anybody else. Maybe the made speeches that have not been reported. But
I've seen all of them up in arms. They even drove to the area.
yeah, being up in arms does not mean you condemn the killing.
So
Being up in arms does not mean you are supporting the security. If anything, they are criticizing government. If anything, they are not helping, they are criticizing government.
So they could be in support of the killing?
Some of them went on the ground and started interrogating the police officers. Police is on the ground, they have arrested people, and members of parliament go and say, what is the evidence? What is the evidence that you've done this? By the time police arrests, they must have some credible evidence.
Seem to delete the fact that the security system is expected to put up serious vigilance even before crime is exhibited or evident anywhere.
Can you patrol the 232,000 square kilometers of Uganda? Can you?
Personally, I may not, but the security system. I'm talking about the system.
Do we have 232,000 square policemen, so that you have a policeman in every village? No.
I think there should be a network and a system.
We don't have a policeman for every village. That's why I was telling you that the police and the security forces depend on the information provided by the local people. Because insecurity is not in the police barracks. Insecurity is not in the military barracks. Insecurity is in the villages. So it's the responsibility of the people whose lives are at stake to provide information to security. What you should be asking for is how wide a net has security cast for it to gather information on the ground. And you don't scatter policemen until an event happens. You don't scatter armed forces until an event happens, because it's unsustainable. So the security has a network that is activated when such incidents happen. And that's why you can see.
That could be now the explanation of the escalating criminality in our country.
I don't think so. That's not correct.
Because there seems to be now a gap between the security system and the communities,
But
which you say have to
do you
feed.
understand the security system?
I'm talking about police, UPDF, LU, and all that.
Police, UPDF, these are organized forces.
Exactly.
Which reside in particular places.
Absence of communication between them and the public, as you say.
You cannot have regular communication between the UPDF and the police force on a daily basis, because there are other things that the police does. Yeah? There is traffic, crime detection, murder detection, illegal fishing, for deforestation, environment. There are many tasks the police handle.
Those are all units assigned to do those specific roles.
Yes.
Don't you see a gap when it comes to detection of crime?
How do you think the rate of crime the killings have been brought down in Masaka? It's because the security has now dominated the ground.
They came in after.
Yes, they came in after. They couldn't come in before. They couldn't come. Can you go to hospital until you are sick? Unless you are sick.
Doctors tell us to
Can
do
you go to
checkups.
hospital unless you are sick?
You do checkups.
Yes, they do. They tell you do checkups, do this, but until you are sick, you don't go to hospital. You know, until you are sick, they do checkups. Yes, the police, the intelligence, and the EPD have been doing checkups until a disease comes out. Then they say, by the way, we had detected this swelling here. We had detected this. Now, they don't operate until they have scientific evidence. Security does not act on suspicion. They don't arrest on suspicion. They must have incontrovertible scientific evidence. They must have reasonable grounds to effect arrest. Otherwise, if you don't do that, then you cause a problem. You start arresting innocent people and causing mayhem. So the police, the intelligence services, the army will react to a situation in accordance to the information they have, the evidence available, that will be presented and be acceptable in court.
So things to do with prevention of crime.
They go to court, they say, prove the matter beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes.
So proving the matter beyond reasonable doubt requires time.
In terms of prevention of crime, ideally, what do you think has to be done?
In terms of prevention of crime, yes, that's the responsibility of the security forces. But the main source of information and prevention is the population.
Who initiates that kind of communication?
But you don't go around asking people, do you see any criminals here? When there is no problem. Now, can you go to Cameroon and start telling people whether they have seen any criminals? No.
Of course, I don't expect security to operate that way. So definitely, they must be having technicalities on how to handle that.
Yes, there are technicalities.
Yes.
That's why there are people who are deployed in different areas as security officers. When security officers pick information, they report it, they analyze it, and act on it. Report, receive, analyze, and react. And definitely, that takes a bit of time. It takes a day or two or three, because you don't pick information and then start moving. The information could be hearsay. The information could be factual. The information could be fabricated. The information could be a rumor.
So is our problem failure of the communities to alert security?
It's our problem is not the community not alerting security. It's the community does not know these events are going to happen. Because the criminals don't alert the community that we are coming to cut you tonight, that we are going to be here. It's when they drop leaflets that the community reports the leaflets, that the security analyzes the threat and then reacts.
Honorable, as we go for a break, what do you read about a situation of a leaflet thrown with a list of names, police and whoever is told, but again the guys come and cut these people on the list?
No, they don't cut these people on the list. A list is thrown. Yes. Sometimes they come to attack those people. Sometimes they don't. Like these old people who are killed in Massacre. Do you think they were on the list?
Some were on the list.
No, there are people who are waylaid when they are coming from bars when they are traveling at night. Were they on the list? They were waylaying people who Arbet were not observing the curfew rules, and they were killed in when they are going their way. There were old people who are living in isolated homes, old people, a woman of 90, an old man of 84, whose doors were broken and they were killed. So these ones were not on the list. Yeah. The lists are sometimes thrown to hoodwink security. You should also know that, because you can throw leaflets in Rubaga when you intend to attack Makindye, so that the security goes to Rubaga, there is high concentration of security, and Makindye is left bare. So the security has to be cautious that some of these leaflets they throw is to hoodwink the security, so that the other areas are left bare and they over-concentrate in areas where there is no danger. So this has to be properly planned, properly analyzed and properly planned.
There are some people that had gotten scared of this as if they thought it were kind of rebel activities.
Even if it was rebel activity. Because you see, once a political motive is established, you can't rule out rebel activity. Once political actors get involved, either for political reasons or for criminal reasons, that one has to be determined by court. You can't rule out any possibility. You know? Government is not the one which starts the rebel activity. It's those who want to engage in rebellion.
You seem not to want to accept that we have a problem in the security system.
No, I don't think so. We may have, lapses on the part of individuals, shortcomings on the part of individuals, but not the security system.
Let's take a very short break. On return, we're going to look at a few of them, and we'll get to understand one by one. To you watching, thank you so much. I'm with the Honorable Major General Kahinda Otafiire, Minister for Internal Affairs. We are taking time to assess the security situation in our country and what exactly government is doing to see that we are all safe. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy this short break.
My home, I smile when I think of you, Uganda. My home. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda. My home, oh my Uganda.
I know with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together. My home, under the sun so bright, under the moon at night, on my heart, mommy, oh my Uganda.
Hey mama,
My Uganda.
oh
MTN, we look forward to starting another exciting journey together to grow our home, Uganda.
UBC One-on-One, welcome back from the break. Thank you so much for keeping it with us. We are with Major General Kahinda Otafiire, Minister for Internal Affairs. We're trying to get to understand the situation to do with security in our country and what exactly is being done to see that we are safe. I'll put it that way. Honorable, welcome back from the break. You don't agree that we have a security problem to do with our security system. We have had arrests and the public is always terrified with the way how things are done. Some operations leave a lot of fear. After elections, there were suspected criminals, border riders, chapat making boys in different towns. Their arrest would leave people scared. Vans would come, carry them, 15 men carrying one chapat making boy. The other example is the way the arrest of the Vice Chancellor of Victoria University that still left some fear among so many people. What do you make of the way we make these arrests? And we don't see this when it comes to criminal activities that really leave lives lost.
There are mistakes made by individual security operators. You can't call that doctrine, security doctrine. Arrests are supposed to be carried out by the police. And anybody arresting people other than the police is doing it illegitimately and illegally.
Really?
Yes.
Is it illegal?
Nobody should arrest anybody other than the police.
I want to get you right, Honorable. Is it illegal for we here CMI, ISO, to arrest?
No, all these are nomenclatures. See, police is in uniform and in plain clothes. Some of these fellows you call CMI are actually plain clothes policemen. It's anti-terrorism, plain clothes, ordinary police, and CID, and criminal investigation. Sometimes they are backed by the armed forces, the army, where they expect possible confrontation. But the arrests are carried out by the police, either in uniform or out of uniform.
Is it okay in layer? Because the expectation would be that if somebody is coming to arrest me, I must identify them. But when all they have is a gun.
It depends on the nature of criminal you are going to arrest. If this criminal you're going to arrest, you have reason to believe could be armed and possibly violent, then you don't come to arrest him with a rosary. But if you are coming to arrest an ordinary criminal, the CID or the police officer, any police officer will come and say you want to arrest.
Oh, Honorable, that brings me to the example I gave you. After elections, you remember the excitement that we normally have.
At that time, I was not Minister for Internal Affairs, so I may not be the best person to ask.
But you may comment because at least you have the general knowledge. We saw arrests of boys on chapati stalls, border cyclists, and the kind of scenes during the arrests would really leave the whole villages scared and terrified.
But
what does that?
Why don't you complete the narrative? Why don't you complete the narrative and say this chapati maker was arrested because he was suspected to be of this category of criminal? The man may be a chapati maker, but a bomb expert. Does ADF tell you that we are going to send somebody with an explosion vest? You may find this man is a chapati maker, but he's a bomb expert. Somebody the security has belief and information has trained in making bombs. So, how do you handle that kind of person? There are dangerous people, innocent looking, with very deadly skills. So that one you don't handle with kid gloves. Sometimes, the arresting officers also exceed the expectations. They are human beings. Sometimes they also get scared. When they tell you this man is a suicide bomber, when you have information that that person you're going to arrest is probably a suicide bomber, how do you behave? Have we heard of suicide bombers?
Yes, sir.
You've heard. Do suicide bombers go confessing they are suicide bombers? No, not at all. They appear and behave like normal, peaceful, law-abiding citizens.
Honorable, we have not had cases where these kind of allegations turn out to be true.
No, because the suicide bombers have been arrested before they have carried out their activities, like the one who was arrested in Padel when we had gone to bury the little rocket. Was there a suicide bomber or not? This man was in his hotel assembling bombs to come and blow us to pieces, to send us to God. You know? So when you're going to arrest that kind of person, what do? Do you recite rosary and then go and arrest the man? No. You go prepared.
So that's why we see
people who are going to arrest this man, human beings, who have a reason to fear that this man could be dangerous. Yes, they are. So they don't just pick the man like they pick an ordinary chicken thief. The suicide bomber is not a chicken thief.
Do you relate that to the story of the Vice Chancellor with the footage that we saw that went viral?
I have not seen the footage. I don't know where these fellows arrested. I have not read the report of what actually happened. No, I have not read the report.
It caused a serious scuffle within the offices.
Well, the Vice Chancellor has been released. The Vice Chancellor has been released. If it was a mistake, it was unfortunate. Okay. And we are saying these fellows will not repeat it.
Honorable, being the Minister of Internal Affairs, and this is the opportunity we have to get some guidance from you about a number of some issues. There are so many families that we have stories in every time we are doing news. Our people were arrested and they have not been released. They were arrested during elections. They were people that were arrested during elections. They have not been seen. They have not been brought to court. They have not been. They were taken to court martial and they have not been brought back. What really happens with these people and what is the effect?
Let me tell you how people go to court martial. You go to court martial when you are a citizen, an ordinary civilian, yes, who turns himself into a soldier. If you are using weapons ordinarily reserved for the army, then you will be tried as a
military personnel.
As a military personnel.
Yes, but
because if we catch you with hand grenades, what are you doing with them?
The complaints within
wait a minute.
Yes.
You are a civilian. You are a news reporter.
Yes.
What are you doing with hand grenades? Hand grenades are reserved for combat missions.
Honorable, that is understandable.
So if we see you, find you with hand grenades, we have every reason
Honorable, that is understandable.
To take you where hand grenades are normally handled.
In our news gatherings, the complaints are these people are not brought back to court. They are not known where they are, and things like that.
There have very many cases in the court at court martial. If you are taken to court martial and you want to know where your person is, go to court martial. Because court martial will put you on remand someplace. If you say, I don't know where my person was, well, how did that person get to court martial? Go and ask a court martial chairperson where your person was remanded. The court martial does not eat them. When they are presented, court martial does not have them for dinner. They remand them and they are sent someplace. Go to the secretary of the court martial and say, so Otafiire was arrested, he was arraigned here, you remanded him, where did he go?
What if there is no answer?
There is a writ of habeas corpus.
Some actually claim they have even gotten court orders to have these people produced.
No, that one is a different matter altogether. Bring your court order, show it to me, and say this man has not been produced, and then I'll see what to do about it. Okay. Court orders have to be obeyed. No court order. A court order is either obeyed or appealed. You may bring a court order and I appeal against it. And when I appeal, I wait for the next court. The appeal takes precedent because I am saying you brought a court order has been issued, but in my belief as a security officer, this court order is going to take us back to force us to release this dangerous person. The court is not aware how dangerous this person you're asking for is and how long it has taken us for us to look for him. And we have every belief that once we release this individual, we may not get him back. So what do? We appeal the court order. We appeal to the court order.
Okay.
Yeah. When we appeal the court order, we wait for the next level court to determine whether we should release this individual or whether we should do, whether the court will uphold the order we have appealed, or we can go on and the order is set aside.
There are people who are worried about their faith. Recently, there is a school for children, Muslim children, that was raided by security and people were arrested in the areas of Bombo.
If you have a school for children, why should security arrest it? There must be a reason why security interferes. You have a school for children where you are teaching children how to make bombs. You have a school for children where you are taking these children abroad. You are engaging in human trafficking. You have a school for children where people's children are put in danger under the guise of teaching them free education. There must be a criminal element why places like that are raided.
Why would there be such justifications and the public goes ahead to complain? Is it lack of clear explanations as to why?
I think, yes, I agree with you that the security forces, and of course that's their nature, do not explain themselves.
Isn't that wrong then?
There is nothing in their standing order says they must explain what they are doing. It's the duty.
Am I not supposed to know why?
Wait a minute. It's the duty of those of us who supervising them to explain why certain things are done. And if we don't explain, you don't blame the security forces. You know?
Am I not supposed to know why I'm arrested?
That's why the security forces have spokespersons. Enanga for police, Veine for prisons, I don't know for this one for the UPDA, for, you know. You have a right to know why you are arrested.
Yes, but these people get to know, like the ones I've told you who claim their relatives have not been seen since elections. They don't know what is happening.
Why are they complaining to the press? Why do they complain to the relevant authorities?
It is after failing.
No, that's not true. How did you find me? How did you find me?
Of course, I'm a press man.
Yes, you're a press man. They should know there is a person called the Minister of Internal Affairs. There is a minister called Minister of Security. There is a Minister of Defense. There is the government spokesperson. There is the Prime Minister's office.
So instead of these women,
there is the police. There is the police, the chief of police.
Instead of these women crying before our cameras, they can actually get help from you.
They cry before our cameras because there is something they are trying to hide. Yes. Yes. And when they cry to you, what do? Do you direct them to where they should go?
Definitely. That's why actually I can personally.
But none of them has come here. If they have cried before you, did you tell them to come here? Did you tell them to come here and we failed to answer their queries?
I thought I would handle it.
Oh, no. That's not the way things are done. There is a DPC in every district. No, our police forces are very friendly. Find out. If this can't find out, the other one will find out, this one will find out. Yeah.
Okay. As we go to wind up, Honorable, what kind of strategies is government going to take to bring the situation back to normal? Because there is fear around Kampala itself. There are groups of boys, like I was telling you, there are groups of boys that terrorize people in Kampala, steal, break into houses, do a lot of things. In addition to what is in Masaka and everywhere.
Now, for Kampala, thank you for bringing it to my attention. Other people have reported it. We have put in place, we've already put in place a scheme for getting the population to cooperate with the security forces, and we shall soon arrest those people.
Okay. So what other moves is government taking to see that?
No, we are doing everything possible within our means. Within our means. Remember, our resources are limited. Within our means, we are doing everything possible to ensure that the people and their property are protected.
What would be your last message to the Ugandan watch?
My last message to the population of Uganda, the people of Uganda, is please, at every level, wherever you are, work with the security forces to help them protect you. Work with the security forces to help them to protect you. Don't hide criminal elements. Don't give them succor. Yeah. And if there are any issues to be resolved, let's sit down and discuss them.
Is there such a platform?
What?
Do you, as the security system, give such a platform?
Security forces are not supposed to discuss problems. Problems are resolved by leaders. And that's why we elect leaders periodically. If you have an issue, raise it to your elected leader. Then the elected leader bring it to the correct forum. And then we shall debate it in the correct forum, discuss it openly and privately, and then we will find a solution.
Thank you so much, Honor.
Yes.
To you watching, that is all we had for you this evening. My name is Micheal Lukomwa. General Otafiire, Kahinda Otafiire, the Minister for Internal Affairs, was our guest this evening, and we're trying to take an assessment of the security situation and what exactly has to be done or is being done to ensure that we are safe all over. He says they're doing whatever it takes to see Kampala safe and all the parts of this country, and they are galvanizing whatever resources are in place to ensure that we are safe. I will emphasize it that way. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the evening.
Beyond Beauty Parlor and Spa, your beautification destination. We believe in suitable beauty. We offer pedicure and manicure, makeup, hairstyling, plating, weaving, dreadlocks, massage, waxing, facial and body scrub, name it. We also offer additional services like honeymoon packages, hiring venues, and vehicles for brides and grooms. Training interns from different beauty schools. We are located on Uganda House, ground floor 5. Call to book for your appointment on 0702 645 015 or 0414 696 229. You can WhatsApp us on 0752 645 005. Email us beyondbeautyparlor@yahoo.com.
In these unprecedented times, I need a partner that is there for me during the good days and the difficult ones. Who gives me a second chance in life?
Offers me guidance to make smarter and wiser financial decisions.
Who supports me move my ideas from ambition to achievement.
Who listens and understands my business.
A partner who is committed to the safety and growth of my savings and ensures a reasonable return on my savings.
My invaluable partner is NSSF.
Together, we rise against all odds
to make tomorrow better.
Join us for the 9th virtual annual members meeting happening 29th September 2021, starting at 9 a.m. live on TV and online.
NSSF, a better life.
Most people never notice that all them want and need.
This special day, a legend comes on your national TV. When you think of legends, you can't figure out DJ Dan Starboy, the reggae and dancehall ambassador.
On the yard, on the yard. I love you, woman, I love you. Yeah, you have your own style. I got to love you, you know I love you. Yeah.
Get certified of 99 greatest hits on UBC TV every Friday, 11 p.m.
Rasta no mean to fight, Rasta mean to love the people. Rasta no mean to fight every time. One love you.
Licky, licky, lava, lava, so, so, so. Licky, licky, oh yeah, lava, lava, oh yes. Them just a rock and come and just a skank in the dance. Everyone.
Them just a rock and come on, just a rock and come on, just a rock and come, rock and come. One love. Sitting on the rails, my voice high enough for you.
Welcome to Elmo's World News. Reporter Elmo is here with some breaking news. All around the world, Elmo's friends are going on adventures without leaving home. How, you ask? By using their imaginations. Elmo's friend is going to explore the forest. She doesn't have binoculars, but she does have her imagination. Look, she made binoculars using what she had at home. Come on, let's explore with her. Wow, look at those trees. Oh, and watch out for that bear. Roar! You can play anything with your imagination. Elmo's friends are brother and sister. Today, they made a video camera and a microphone, and they're pretending to be news reporters. Hey, Elmo's got a job for you. You can be anything with your imagination. Elmo's friend is pretending he's sailing on a boat. Ahoy, friend! Don't forget the life vest. Wow! Watch out for that huge whale! You can go anywhere when you use your imagination. What will you imagine today? Bye-bye, everybody!
This weekend,
Youth of Purpose.
Is action being taken to all those challenges you've talked about when you represent the young people as the National Youth Council, or it's just about talking?
The mobilization of youth issues or for youth issues should be an easygoing, but the understanding and the organization to always structure those people and those institutions to focus on young people is not always present.
I would like to encourage young people to participate more in issues of politics, starting from their communities, their parishes, and also those in higher positions to take it on more seriously.
Youth of Purpose. Brought to you by Uganda First.
Patriotism is a feeling of love, devotion, and the willingness to sacrifice for one's country.
I say no to corruption because I put my country first. I choose peace over violence because I put my country first.
Patriotic, Uganda First. This message is brought to you by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Co-Uganda, Office of the President.
I'm Joanny Takawalia, the Pikau Goodwill Ambassador. I'm here to inform you that Uganda Cancer Institute, together with the Palliative Care Association of Uganda, in partnership with the Ministry of Health, We'll host the 3rd Uganda Conference on Cancer and Palliative Care on 23rd and 24th September 2021. The theme of the conference is Cancer and Palliative Care in COVID-19 and Other Challenging Situations. This year's conference is a unique one and will be held virtually with some sessions broadcast live on UBC TV. We will have panel discussions, plenary sessions, and workshops, as well as presentations of abstract, where scientists will share latest research on cancer and palliative care. This conference will bring together at least 400 policymakers, researchers, health providers, patients, and the general public who will be watching online. I encourage you all to register for this important event. Registration for Ugandan delegates is 200,000 shillings.
For more information, call 0392 080 713 or 0414 540 410. Email conference@uci.or.uj or conference@pcau.org.uj.
Coming soon on UBC. Coming soon on UBC.
Do you trust me?
Go! He escaped. I want my Yeti back! Where's my show? Where is she? Oh, God! Fine.
You must run away and never return.
Thank you for this journey. No matter how it ends.
I don't know what comes next.
But I don't regret any of this.
My name is Gume Frederick Ngobi. I am a member of parliament and I represent the people of Bulamoji Northwest constituency in Kaliro district. I am a minister of state for cooperatives. I take this opportunity to convey my message to all Ugandans, especially during this pandemic of COVID-19 and the lockdown. I humbly request that we follow the Ministry of Health guidelines, which have been stipulated very well to try and get out of this pandemic. I request that when you are in public, kindly, for the safety of your life and the safety of other people, wear your masks. When you should also continuously wash your hands. Let's take care about our lives, because of recent we have had a high transmission rate.